I'm like I said, I listen to you, but what are you listening to right now? Like, what's on your playlist, man?
I really like S.G. Goodman. She's from Western Kentucky, and I got hip to her. We did a thing together at Americana Fest, and she's simply amazing. Jim James produced her record, which doesn't surprise me. I'm a big fan of him. But her band was, I don't know. I feel like it's, I don't know if she would take this as a compliment, but I feel like it's a noisy look at Kentucky music, and that's very much my vibe. That I've I've been recently listening to Bruno Mars, and that's come from that Silk Sonics. I've known Bruno Mars's work. I watched the Super Bowl, but that Silk Sonics record, man, come on.
Oh,
that's
dude, it's so good, man. And Bootsy Collins being the host. I mean, you couldn't have found a better person to host it. Bootsy, baby, yeah.
Bootsy, baby. Those guys just, I don't know, man. Like, sometimes something just gets made and you're like, those people aren't human. Those people are from another earth. Subsequently, I think Spotify's been feeding me, like, Bruno Mars singles. I'm like, dude, this dude's just nonstop. Yeah, all over the place, dude. All over the place. A lot of podcasts. You name it.
It's cool because I wouldn't think of you to be a Bruno Mars fan, but I think that it's cool for artists to get inspiration from all over the place. And like how you said you're from Louisiana earlier, do you think that like there's some type of influence that's in your music today?
Well, I'm a fan of music. I don't even really care. I mean, like, when I used to travel a lot by myself, kind of post my band breaking up, my old band, and then, forming a new one, I was touring just with an acoustic guitar there for a couple of years. And, I had my satellite radio, and I would almost leave it on 40s Junction, which is like the Andrews Sisters and Bing Crosby and all this mess. And it's all this kind of like wartime, 40s jazz, but it's all like unbelievably, like, sickeningly, like, sweet and positive. But there's something underlying that I found in that music that is actually creepy. Even though they're singing, like, it's all very bubblegum in a way. Think of the time, right? You're not going to say anything controversial in music at that time. But something about that was almost like alarmingly ominous is the best way I could describe it. And I love that. I love just finding the own things that might not even be there. As far as being from Louisiana, I don't know, man. I have a deep tie to the South in a maybe an interesting way, I'm tied to the cultural South. I don't really care so much about location. I think because, and I wonder if you're this way as well, because I moved around so much, I think if I'd have just stayed in one place my whole life, maybe I would, cheer for the team, etc. I'm more interested in, like, the arts coming out of these places and the food coming out of these places, how that applies to, if you're asking if there's anything Southern in my music, I think it's pretty, like, distinctly Southern, in that I think that the South is, in a lot of ways, the birth of what we know as American music. I think that's where, the jazz and the blues and everything's from. Rock and roll's from the South in my heart. So, in as much as any of us, I don't know. I think that I kind of dodged your answer, but
no, man, no, you hit the nail on the head there. I appreciate bouncing around a lot, and it did give me this wide musical taste, but it also made me very weird too, because I can go from Toby Keith to Black Label Society to Billy Strings, the Allman Brothers, jazz. Like right now, I'm on this 70s Japanese jazz kick because I'm that far down music rabbit holes. But I'm one of those people, I can literally listen to everything, and that makes easy road trips with me. I think that if you just listen to one style of music, it would be boring. I don't see how people can do that, man.
Well, one of my guys on my management team, he's insisting that genre is dead, and he's probably right. I mean, definitely, in as much as anybody that, Spotify is kind of your primary portal to what you listen to, it probably is dead. And I'm sure there are purists who would poo-poo that and don't want that to happen. I'm pretty uninterested. As somebody who I don't feel like is clearly in a specific genre, I don't really care. There's going to be people who keep themes and traditions alive in music, and those people are necessary and great. And then there's going to be other people who just do their own thing, for better or for worse, and those things are necessary, and that's great.
Yeah, man. And I also love how, there's this music's kind of like a revolving door. Every few years, it seems like history repeats itself. Going back to that Silk Sonic record with Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak, I would have never thought to hear Bootsy Collins be hosting an album here in 2022. But I dig it. And now with Billy Strings bringing bluegrass back, who knows what the future is going to be like, man. But it's pretty exciting.